I still remember the night everyone started screaming in our village. It was the night I learned that not all healers want to save you. Some hide evil behind their smiles. My name is Kofi, and I'm from a small village in Ghana, between forest and dusty roads. Our village is quiet, with mud huts and thatched roofs, where everyone knows each other. We grow yams, fetch water from the river, and sit under the big baobab tree to share stories. But the stories we tell now are different, because of what happened with Tunde. In our village, we don't have a big hospital nearby. The clinic in town is a long walk, and sometimes they run out of medicine. So, we rely on traditional healers. They know the forest plants, talk to spirits, and protect us from bad things. We call them healers, but in other places, they are called Inyangas or Sangomas. Tunde was our healer, and everyone trusted him. He was old, with deep lines on his face and eyes that seemed to see everything. People said he could cure fevers, chase away nightmares, even break curses. When someone was sick, they went to Tunde's hut at the edge of the forest, where the trees grow so thick you can't see the sky. I was 16 when my little sister, Oma, got sick. She was only 8, always running around, laughing, her braids bouncing. She loved her blue dress, the one our mother sewed for her birthday. But one day, Oma stopped running. She lay on her mat, sweating, her eyes half closed. She wouldn't eat, wouldn't talk. My mother tried everything, cool cloths, prayers, even the bitter tea our grandmother swore by. Nothing worked. My father said we had to go to the clinic in town. We walked for hours to get there, carrying Oma in a sling. The doctor was kind but tired. He gave us some pills and said it was probably malaria, but the test weren't clear. He told us to come back if she got worse. We gave Oma the pills, but her fever only climbed higher. She started moaning at night, like she was fighting something we couldn't see. My parents were scared. I was too. That's when my mother said, "We need Tunde." I didn't want to go to his hut. I'd heard stories about it, how the air felt heavy there, how the carvings on his door seemed to move if you stared too long. But Oma was getting worse, and we had no choice. So, one morning, we carried her through the forest. The path was narrow, with vines curling around our feet. The birds stopped singing as we got closer to Baba's hut. It was small, made of mud and wood, with strange symbols carved into the door. Bundles of dried herbs hung outside, and a faint smell of smoke lingered in the air. Tunde welcomed us with a big smile. His voice was deep, like it came from somewhere far away. He sat Oma on a mat and checked her, touching her forehead, looking into her eyes. He burned some sage, and the smoke made me dizzy. Then he looked at my parents and said, "An evil spirit is inside her. It's strong, and it won't leave without a fight. I can drive it out, but I need a special ritual. Bring me a chicken for sacrifice, some herbs from the forest, and a piece of Oma's favorite dress. Come back at midnight." My parents nodded, their eyes full of hope. I wasn't so sure. Something about Baba's smile felt wrong, like he was hiding something. But I didn't say anything. We went home, and my mother searched the forest for the herbs he asked for, bitter leaf and some roots I didn't recognize. My father found a chicken from our neighbor, and I caught a small piece from Oma's blue dress. She was too weak to notice. That night, under a full moon, we went back to Baba's hut. The forest was quiet, too quiet, like it was holding its breath. Inside the hut, it was dark, lit only by an oil lamp. The air smelled of herbs and something sharp, like metal. Baba was waiting, wearing a red cloth around his shoulders. He told us to sit in the corner while he prepared the ritual. Oma lay on a mat in the center, her breathing shallow. Baba started chanting, his voice low and rhythmic, like a drum. He took the chicken and slit its throat, letting the blood drip into a clay bowl. I wanted to look away, but I couldn't. He mixed the blood with the herbs and smeared it on Oma's forehead. She didn't move. The air got heavier, like a storm was coming. I felt cold, even though it was a hot night. The walls of the hut had those strange symbols, and I swear they started to glow, just a little. Baba's chants got louder, and his eyes rolled back, showing only the whites. My mother grabbed my hand, whispering, "This is how it's supposed to be." But I wasn't so sure. My heart was pounding, and I felt like something was watching us. Then Baba stopped chanting and looked right at me. His eyes weren't kind anymore, they were cold, like a snake's. He said, "Kofi, you have the gift. You can see what others can't." I froze. I didn't know what he meant. I was just a kid, worried about my sister. But he handed me a small pouch and said, "Sprinkle this powder around the hut. It will help the spirit leave." I didn't want to, but my father nodded at me, so I took the pouch. The powder was dark, almost black, and it smelled wrong, like something rotten. I walked around the hut, sprinkling it along the walls. The symbols seemed to pause as I passed them, and the air got so thick I could barely breathe. I kept glancing at Oma, hoping she'd open her eyes, but she just lay there, still as death. When I finished, I went back to the center of the hut. That's when I saw it. Baba was holding a knife over Oma's chest. His face wasn't kind anymore. It was twisted, like he was hungry for something. My stomach dropped. I shouted, "What are you doing?" My voice cracked, but I didn't care. Baba turned to me, his smile cruel. He said, "The spirit wants a sacrifice, Kofi. A life for a life." That's when I knew. Baba wasn't a healer. He was evil, using us for something dark. I looked at Oma, so small and helpless, and I knew I had to do something. My parents were frozen, too shocked to move. I saw the bowl of chicken blood on the ground and grabbed it. Without thinking, I threw it right at Baba's face. He screamed, a horrible sound, like an animal. The knife fell from his hand, dropping loudly to the floor. I yelled at my parents, "Grab Oma." My father snapped out of it and scooped her up. We ran out of the hut, into the dark forest. The air felt alive, like it was chasing us. I kept looking back, expecting to see Baba behind us, but there was nothing, just the shadows of the trees. We got home and locked the door, like that would keep us safe. Oma was still burning with fever, but she was alive. The next morning, we told the village elders what happened. They went to Baba's hut with sticks and machetes, ready to confront him. But he was gone. The hut was empty, except for those symbols on the walls and a bad smell, like something had died there. The elders burned the herbs he left behind, saying they were cursed. Later, we heard stories from other villages. They said Baba Ton wasn't just a healer, he'd been traveling from place to place, tricking people. Some said he used dark magic to gain power, making deals with spirits that demanded blood. No one knew where he came from or where he went. He just vanished, like smoke. Oma got better, slowly. The fever broke a few days later, and she started eating again. One day, she even asked for her blue dress, not knowing I'd cut a piece of it. I never told her what happened that night. She's too young to know how close we came to losing her. I'm telling you this story because I want you to be careful. Not everyone who says they'll help you is good. Some people hide evil behind kind words and big smiles. Baba Ton fooled our whole village, but I saw the truth in his eyes that night. Trust your heart. If something feels wrong, it probably is. I'll never forget that night, and I hope you never have to face someone like Baba Ton.